Hi guys, and welcome to my video on the top 5 sports games for the Oculus Quest. The game in 5th place is Thrill of the Fight. This is a boxing game where you have to battle your way through the opponents in the game who gradually get harder. If you want to get a sweat on, this is the game for you. It is also great if you want to practice your shadow boxing, because instead of trying to visualize an opponent in front of you, there actually is an opponent in front of you. There are also lots of mini games you can play in this game as well. There's a heavy bag, training dummy, speed bag, etc. With the heavy bag, it records how hard you hit it and you can keep track and try and beat it. It also teaches you some fundamentals about boxing, such as preserving your stamina, use your body to punch, not just your arms, how to avoid punches, and that you have to keep your guard up at all times. Right before lockdown started, I wanted to get into kickboxing, and for obvious reasons, that had to be put on hold. I've started learning a beginner's online course on it, and I can almost practice the boxing part in this game, with combos, stance, etc. It's a great little tool to have if you want to practice a bit of boxing, or you want to get a major sweat on. In at number 4 is Descent Alps. This game has recently been featured in one of my videos, where I go a bit more in depth on it than I will here, so if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it at the top somewhere. This, if you didn't guess by the title, is a skiing game. There has been an update since my last video though. The developer has made the game look a lot sharper, and overall better to look at, by having a massive shading and colour overhaul. In this game you have 4 slopes to tear down, and the first time you go down a slope, you have to go in and out of the markers in rhythm with the music. This is very difficult to start with, but then when you start to find the rhythm and find the lines on the slope, it feels great. When you've completed all the courses the first time around, you unlock the free ride mode, where you can slice down the slopes without having to go in and out of the markers. This mode is amazing just for relaxing or trying to hone your skills. In at number 3 is 11 Table Tennis. Before I got my Oculus Quest, I had never been able to get into table tennis. Maybe it's because I never had access to it, but every time I tried, I just couldn't get to grips with it. When I saw this, I thought I'd give it a go because it was so well rated on the Oculus store, so I purchased it. I was blown away with how good it feels. Like I said in my last video, it's incredible how good these VR sports games feel with the physics. Not once have I had the ball go through the bat. I think that being in virtual reality gives you that sense of distance, etc. So I sometimes find myself hitting reflex shots that I shouldn't be hitting considering my skill. The online mode on this game is where the game really shines. You have a skill rating which you can check on to make sure you don't challenge someone who is a lot better than you. I've made that mistake a lot of times when I go into a game with an expert and they're hitting curveballs which I can't even get near. But it's all about learning and getting better. You can practice in the single player mode where you can play against a mirror of your avatar. You choose the difficulty. It really helps, as when I started I was awful, I couldn't hit the ball to save my life. But then I got into an online game with a guy who could see I was a beginner, so I got a few tips off him, and now I've slightly improved, but I'm still awful. I was umming and ahhing about which game to put first, and it was a toss-up between this one and the one in first place. But after careful consideration, I decided to put Echo Arena in second place. I will explain why later. Echo Arena is and will be a VR classic. There's nothing else out there like it. There's no other game that has implemented such a good movement system in my opinion. It is so easy to pick up but takes a lot of time to master. I think you all know what Echo Arena is, but if you don't, it's pretty much a mixture of football, American football, ultimate frisbee and basketball in zero gravity. It is a 5v5 team game where you simply have to get the disc in the enemy's goal. You have a stun element in this game as well, where you can hit an enemy in the head with a clenched fist, and this will stop them in their tracks and also stun them for a short duration. You can also block incoming attacks by holding up your 2 clenched fists to your face, and if you time this correctly, the person trying to hit you will get stunned instead. But the reason I've put this in second is because of the community surrounding it. With it being free, it attracts a lot of kids. And this isn't all bad, as some of them actually want to win and play the game, but a vast majority of them I have played with don't want to play. They scream down the mic, hog the disc, and even take the disc off their own teammates. They are also very rude in game. I don't really want to say in this video, but it's very annoying. I've seen many Reddit posts discussing this issue, seeing very mixed opinions. Some are saying just mute them, but it isn't that easy, as you need to communicate with your team to win. But that's a debate for another day. Overall, this is one of the best games on the Quest, full stop, so don't let it deter you from it. In at number 1 is recently released Pro Putt VR. My last video was a full review on the game, so if you haven't seen this video, I'll link it in the top somewhere. This is simply a mini golf game. Everything about this game has been thought about thoroughly, and it all fits together so well. The music is something I didn't mention in my review, but it is great. It fits the whole style and look of the game. The minigames will also keep me coming back to try and get to the top of those leaderboards. One of the best things about this game is seeing yourself improve. When you first start off, you don't really use the contours to your advantage, and you don't understand the power, but when you have played a bit more, you start to notice yourself learning how much power to put on a certain shot, and how to use the contours of the course to your advantage. This game is a bright future in my opinion, with the multiplayer and leaderboards. It's amazing how much replayability a simple leaderboard can give a game. I can't wait to see what new courses come to this game, and what new features are implemented in the future. So guys, that'll end the video for today. If you enjoyed, make sure you smash a like down below, comment as well, leave me some constructive criticism, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.